If anybody's watching, what's up? Before we get going any further, we're just going to wait for a couple minutes, let some people come in. Oh, here we go. Just waiting on people to show up. All right, whoever's there, how's it going? I see we have one person watching. The overlay that you're seeing right now is Notre Dame's newest recruit, a punter of Australian descent who used to play Aussie rules football. His name is James Rendell. Okay. All right, what's up, guys? See, we got a couple of people in here. Oh, now it's 0. Spoke too soon. Better change this. If I can find the right shade of green. There we go. Yep, just waiting for people to show up. So far, we're back to 1. We were at 2. Now Now we got one person watching. So to that one person, and if there's any more, this is going to be a pretty short stream tonight. As you guys can see, I am going solo. Ben has come down with something. I don't know if it's strep throat or what, but I talked to him earlier and he sounds terrible. So yeah, that's the story with that. Oh, hey. What's up? Go Irish. Major problems. Yeah, I gotta say, when I see new names show up on our live stream or even in the comments on videos that we post, can't help but be a little bit nervous. Like, what are we getting with this person? But I guess the more you grow, the more people are going to see you. So you got to take it as is. But yeah, it is a wonderful Thursday evening here in my neck of the woods. Pretty warm out, but we should have rain coming up here pretty soon, starting up. But yeah, I guess we can start by talking about just always pop up. I'm cool, I promise. I hope so. Unfortunately, we have gotten a lot of trolls in the past, and a lot of it stemming from my own personal stuff that I've had going on. But I'll spare the details. But yeah, so to this one person who's watching and others who might be watching, what did you think? Assuming, yeah, you're a Notre Dame fan. First things first, what do you think of our new punter, James Rendell, the Aussie, or I think they said his nickname was Thor. I'm not really surprised by that because you see a lot of Australian guys punting for many different college football programs. And man, let me tell you, these guys, and of course I know why this is, but these guys can boot that ball. So yeah, if you're any college football team, if you can get your hands on an Australian punter, take it. Now, of course, we know why that is. Now, yes, they do play American football down in Australia, and they do have programs for punting and kicking and whatnot. But if you've ever seen Australian rules football, you'll know why they're so good at punting. That game, well, it's kind of hard to explain in one shot, but they do a lot of punting. It's a similar size ball to American football, and instead of passing the ball, they kick it forward to their teammates. And this is on the run too. I mean, you got to be in shape to play this sport. Unfortunately, missed the blue and gold game due to work, but my dad said he's got a hammer. Well, James Rendell, he just committed to us. He wasn't in the blue and gold game. He didn't play. And plus, he wouldn't, even if he was on the team, he wouldn't have punted anyway because they don't punt in the blue and gold game. They just for punting in that situation, they just mark it back 40 yards when the team decides to punt. 40 one way or 40 the other. As far as kicking goes, the only kicking that they do is field goals. And actually, I think they did do one actual kickoff to start the game. I could be wrong about that though. But yeah. No, the only kicking is field goal attempts, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, going back to Australian rules football for a second. Basically, what the game is it's a combination of soccer and rugby all in one. How do I explain this without a visual? I forget the exact number of teams per side, but at each side of the field Instead of soccer goals, they have like 3 sets of uprights. Oh, Golden Playbook, what's up, dude? Welcome to the party. But in Australian rules football, like I said, instead of soccer nets, they have 3 sets of uprights. So you got, okay, we'll say this is the center one, and then 2 on the outside of that. So basically, you got a bar here, and a bar here, and that makes 3 goals. I think the scoring a goal, if you will, or a try in the middle goal or upright, I think that is worth like 7 or 10 points. I could be wrong on that, and then the ones on the outside are worth 1 point. But the field is like a circular type field, so you're running in circles, and you're punting the ball forward to your teammates instead of passing it. Your teammate catches it, ref blows a whistle, and that's where you get possession from. So yeah, it's a very interesting sport. I've watched it before. It's pretty cool. So yeah, it's only fitting that that this guy's Australian. So he would definitely know how to punt the ball. But anyway, so here he is again, James Rendell, second from right next to Marty Biaggi here. And yeah, he definitely looks like Thor. You see that guy, you think Thor. Yeah, he did go down there to see him. He did. I'm telling you, man, if you can get yourselves on an Aussie to be your punter, go for it. These guys can bomb that ball. I mean, look at the Chicago Bears. A lot of people think it's crazy, but they took a punter that Torrey Taylor, the punter from Iowa, I think he was the Ray Guy Award winner. They took him in the 4th round. Well, and punters, as we know, they can be the unsung heroes of the game sometimes. They don't always get enough credit. But that we know that field position is everything. I mean, look at back in what draft was it? 1970, I think it was. Ray Guy was taken by the Raiders like 7th overall. I mean, a punter going in the 1st round. Even for back then, that sounds insane, but he made quite the difference for him. Big difference. What are my thoughts on the new commit that we got, Dallas Golden? The corner, right? The defensive back. Let's see. I believe he was a 4-star. Yeah, safety. That's right. I'm happy for it. You can never have enough depth at in the defensive backfield. That's for sure. And you know what? What a perfect name too. Perfect name, Dallas Golden, coming to play for Notre Dame under the Golden Dome. Couldn't be any more fitting. I mean, I do recall seeing some highlights of this kid, and I hope things work out for him when he gets here. I hope he comes as advertised. But yeah, let's I got the article pulled up. on James Rendell, our new punter. So here it is. Notre Dame made quick work finding its punter for the 2024 season, landing a commitment from Australian James Rendell. Previously committed to Hawaii, Rendell will join the Notre Dame team for the 2024 season and will be a scholarship player. He previously played Australian rules football while also transitioning into a punting role while working with Pro Kick Australia. He committed to Hawaii in early April before Notre Dame found out about him. Special teams coordinator Marty Biaggi was in Australia this week and secured a commitment from the talented punter. According to a story from Stephen Tsai of the Star Advisor, Rendell has the nickname of Thor, and he's had a maximum hang time of, I didn't see this part, of an astounding 5.1 seconds. The Australian native is listed at 6'6" and 225 pounds. Rendell will be given every opportunity to become the Notre Dame punter in 2024. He's got the job. He's currently 23 years old, but according to a source, he could have up to 3 years of eligibility for the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame is looking to find a new punter after last year's starter, Bryce McPherson, entered the portal late in the spring. McPherson averaged 45.1 yards per punt last season, but he struggled with consistency in getting the ball inside the 20-yard line. We get the point with McPherson. He was inconsistent and had his issues. So, 5.1 hang time. That's pretty damn impressive. But no, with Dallas Golden, it just shows the job that that Marcus Freeman and his coaches have been doing. Of course, now we need to see that transition onto the field, which it's gotten better. This ain't a criticism, but of course, Coach Freeman takes over, and it's a rough first year. I mean, he's left with a crappy quarterback situation. Year two, you're still trying to figure things out. Bridge quarterback, still not there yet. Year three, this is where I think we can really see some guys shine. I mean, the talent's there. What about 2026 linebacker Storm Miller, who I think was offered recently? I got to look this up too. Cool names here too. Well, it doesn't matter if they're nicknames or actual names. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Did he commit? Well, what I'm seeing here is that he's received an offer, but he hasn't committed anywhere. Oh, come on, Jay-Z Bear. That's ridiculous. Carr was throwing some strikes, and Jelly was throwing some strikes. I mean, what do you expect? It's the spring game. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I don't know what you were watching, but I thought they all did pretty well. But yeah, I mean, this is a glorified scrimmage after 15 practices. Okay, read that one already. Okay, this is the most 4 stars I've seen on a Notre Dame roster in my personal lifetime. Of course, they got to show it on the field. Yeah. Yeah. No, of course, not that, as I've said many times in the past, people read too much into the number of stars, because 5 stars can flop out just as easy as anybody else. But no, all these 4 stars, I agree with you. It's ridiculous, and I say that in a good way. Well, playbook, you bring up a good point here. Not going to show all they can do. Going to save it for the season. Well, they even said it in the commentary for the blue and gold game that it was going to be a very limited playbook. They're not going to show everything. They're going to go through the basic things. And plus, what we also have to remember, too, is not everybody was playing. Okay, our starting quarterback, Riley Leonard, he was out with an injury. Let's see, I think, Jadarian Price was out with an injury. I think we had a couple of receivers not playing, a couple of defensive guys. So, yeah, I mean, you can't read too much into a scrimmage. I mean, it's basically just about executing the fundamentals and see where you are in your progression. So, but we still can't throw the ball. Come on. I mean, yeah, you'd be stupid as hell if you showed if you showed your whole playbook in the spring game. But anyway, so everybody watching, what did you guys think of the news with Newt Rockne and his grave being moved to the Notre Dame campus? I mean, myself personally, I thought that was pretty cool, and I didn't realize that he wasn't buried on the Notre Dame campus already. I honestly did not know that. But of course, I can understand why they wanted him buried on the campus. I guess the cemetery that he was currently buried at, they didn't really do a good job with the perpetual care, and his granddaughter, Newt Rockne's granddaughter, was saying that she was picking up junk and like cigarette butts and empty whiskey bottles off his grave all the time. I'm not being negative. I was just expecting the passing game to be better, and it didn't appear so. But our defense is also elite. Yeah, our defense is elite, but I'm not trying to be a jerk. If the passing's off, it's because it's only been 15 practices. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. And like I said, our starting quarterback, he wasn't playing. But I thought Angeli was throwing darts. I thought CJ Carr was throwing darts. Minchie. I mean, I thought Minchie could have been better. But I mean, the bottom line is I don't come into a scrimmage expecting these guys to be, Joe Montana or Dan Marino or something. But yeah, with the Newt Rockne situation, yeah, it was his casket, his wife, and I think one of their sons and a grandchild that were all moved to the cemetery that's on Notre Dame. And it makes you wonder, I'm not trying to sound deranged or anything, but I can only wonder what kind of condition, without going into too much detail, what kind of condition everything, we'll just use the word everything, would look like in, after 92 years. Well, in Rock's case, 92 years, but still, they've all been buried there for a long time. Yeah, because Rockne, the crash was in 1931, and you definitely have to handle with care. I think Angeli will transfer personally. This team is set up to be a CJ Carr team. I've been saying that for a while now. I mean, listen, I know Golden Playbook will back me up on this, but on the Notre Dame Facebook group that I help run, so many people, and I'm not going to over exaggerate and say it's everybody or anything like that, but so many people want Angeli to be the starter. And look, here's the facts. Riley Leonard did not transfer here to sit on the bench. Okay, no quarterback who is started at another major program, and I know you think Duke, you don't think football. I get that, but regardless, he was a starting quarterback at the major college football level. Played for Coach Cutcliffe, who very good coach, but he played for Mike Elko last year. The bottom line is Riley Leonard is established. Angeli, I like the kid, but when you compare him to Leonard, I don't know. Well, look, I know you're getting tired of that, and I'm tired of the bridge quarterbacks too. But as I said, and I've said this in previous live streams and other videos, this team is being set up for CJ Carr. But the thing is, he's not ready to start. He's too raw to be a starter as a freshman. Now there's of course there's been plenty of guys who are ready to start freshman year, but CJ's not ready. He's not. So this is your opportunity to remedy that. Get a bridge quarterback one more time, have CJ learn, and then he'll be ready to start in 2025. Now, of course, heaven forbid Riley Leonard goes down, then that's where you'll probably see Angeli there or a Minchie. Maybe you could give CJ some playing time if you wanted to. But that's basically, well, I just explained that. Here's the thing. Marcus Freeman, since he took over, he inherited a very crappy quarterback situation. And now, of course, we all thought we had something really good with Tyler Buckner. Not the case. Drew Pine, we only saw bits and pieces of him. After that, who else? Well, I guess Angeli was there, but Angeli wasn't ready. So Marcus Freeman has been in a crappy quarterback situation ever since he became head coach. And why now, you ask, Jay-Z Bear? Or Jarzy Bear? Sorry, I've been pronouncing your name wrong this whole time. This is the opportunity to change that. Now is when. Why not now? As I said, CJ's not ready. You're not gonna with the team set up the way it is. You're not gonna take a young freshman and throw him to the wolves. You only do that if you know your season's shit from the start. Like, go back to 2007, for example. First game of the season, we get our butts kicked by Georgia Tech, and it was just disaster from there on out. So what'd Charlie Weiss do? He threw Jimmy Clausen to the wolves then. So that's really the only appropriate time that you do that. Unless you have a freshman phenom who is that good and that smart, then yeah, you start him there too. But no, when this team has a chance to win, you just like baseball in the minor league system, you let your crops grow. No, that's not the case. That's not the case that Freeman doesn't trust him. I'm sorry, that's just really illogical. And I got to go back and read some of your guys' comments here because I've been stuck on this. As a general rule of thumb, defense is typically ahead of the game at this time of the year compared to the past. Yes, exactly. I agree with that. Well, and plus our offense is so young too. I mean, there's so many new guys coming into play here. We lost a lot of receivers, a lot of new faces there. Jeremiah Love, him and Jadarian Price take over the load at running back. So yeah, I mean, And plus, in our particular case right now, there's still plenty of veterans on the defense to where it's more easy of a transition. I believe that Freeman got Leonard in the transfer portal because he has to evaluate talent on the yeah, exactly. Now, if Freeman didn't get Riley Leonard in the portal, Angeli's your most likely starting candidate, or at least at least it's a battle between him and Minchie. Minchie would give Angeli a run for his money, but if that was the case, you give Angeli the edge because he's been here longer. Not by much, but I would rather a guy we recruited than a 1-year rental. Well, we've got 2 guys in CJ Carr and then Deuce Knight behind him that Freeman has recruited. Deuce Knight still has another year of high school. CJ Carr is a freshman. So you got to build them up. As I said already. This was after what I commented already, when I commented about on building guys up, especially not at Texas A&M to start us off on how to ruin a freshman 101. Yeah, you mean to tell me that CJ Carr? Listen, the kid is very talented. He has a lot of promise. You are not going to start an early enrollee true freshman at down at Texas A&M at College Station. You're not going to do that. You'd be stupid to do that. Yes, we do. That's where you're wrong, Jer or Jarzy Bear. That's where you're wrong. We do need some veteran. We do need a veteran presence at quarterback here. I mean, there's nothing to argue. We don't have anyone that's really proven yet. Riley Leonard, even though it was with a different program, he is proven. And Jelly had a nice game in the Sun Bowl. He did. But he really hasn't until that game, and I'm not trying to sound like, the quote unquote realists here, but I will say that was a pretty even game because both sides were we were both depleted from injury, but mostly from guys who sat out for the draft. But he wasn't facing everything that Oregon State had to offer, because they were losing a lot. They had like 13, 14 guys out, something ridiculous like that. What won that game for us was the depth that we had showed. Leonard is injury prone, and I personally don't think he is that good. Well, okay. Okay. Everybody, I guess the best way that I can describe that, 2 things. One, look, you got to look at his numbers. He did pretty well at Duke. And again, that's Duke, a team that people think basketball first and not football. And 2, the old saying goes, opinions are like assholes. We all have one. Okay, if you say so. And I'm just curious, and I'm not saying this is going to happen because college football, you don't guarantee a thing. Nothing is ever guaranteed. But what if Leonard goes out there and, has a stellar year and every good piece falls into place. We go undefeated. He wins the Heisman, leads us to a national championship the first time since '88. What are you going to be saying then? Just curious. I know it's a hypothetical, but why not? I mean, I deal with this on the Facebook page all the time. I know people love Angeli. Okay, good. Good. I know people love Angeli, but I don't know. You can't have your head up somebody's butt just because you personally like them. Now, listen, I'll be the first one to say if Leonard goes out there and plays like shit, then yeah, you go with Angeli. I'm not, if a guy plays like crap, I don't care how much I like him, you're going to go with who's better. But you can't, but the bottom line is you can't base everything, like with this roster, the way it sits right now, we've only seen a spring game, a glorified scrimmage. But you may not like it, but Leonard's the starter. And I think as any true fan was, you support who the starting guy is. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying, in my opinion, Leonard is the more experienced guy, and it's just the way football is now, dude. No, a quarterback of his caliber who's done pretty well at Duke, he's not going to transfer to Notre Dame to just sit on the bench. You got to realize that. I know you love Angeli. I know you and everybody gush over him. I gush over the kid. I think he's a good kid and a good player. But right now, as it sits, Riley Leonard is the better option to win. Now, of course, yeah, there's no denying that he's had his injuries. That nasty shot he took when they played against us last year. But we got to see fall camp yet. Major problems. We need someone to manage the offense. Our defense will keep us in any game on that schedule. Yeah. Well, we discussed this earlier. The defense has been great. It's the offense that needs to get a little more consistent. Well, you may not like how college football is, but that's the world that we live in. That's the reality. You don't have to like it, but that's how it is. Yeah, transfer portal is just beer goggles for football. Everyone just looks at it, transfers through the screwed lens. It's a different game. It's a different game. It's a lot more options. There's pros to it and there's also cons. I get it. For example, I like the one thing that I do like about the transfer portal is that obviously, as we all know before, when guys would transfer, they would have to sit out a year. I'm glad that you don't have to with this. No, because I mean that's not right. Like let's say you have a quarterback who's a pro style quarterback. The coach that he currently plays for takes a new job, gets fired, whatever, and they bring in another coach who, I don't know, runs something that he's not used to, like the triple option or something like that. I know it's ridiculous, but it's happened before. And then he transfers and he has to sit out a year with doing nothing essentially. It's not just practicing. That's not fair to that guy. I'm not dissing on the transfer portal. I'm saying that college football fans view transfers as the savior. Well, okay, you do have a point there. They're not always going to be the saviors. I think a lot of fans, when they see, like last year when Sam Hartman came, they saw what he did at Wake Forest, for example, and Wake Forest and their offense was a very gimmick style offense. And he comes to Notre Dame to play in a pro style, and you're like, oh man, he did that at Wake Forest. Think of what he could do here. It's hype. But it's like, it's just when you get a guy from the portal like that, it's just, of course the fans are going to get excited because there's so many. Now, what actually happens on the field is a completely different story. But when you see a guy like that come to a program that's usually more well ran than some others, and that actually have a chance to win, then yeah, of course people are going to get excited about it. But you're right. You're right. You can't just say that a transfer is going to come in here and fix everything. He still has to be coached up. He still has to play mistake-free football and all the usual things. So I get that. I understand. I agree with you on that. I'm excited about the new athletic facility. That's going to help with landing a lot of top recruits. Yeah, Ben and I talked about this in a previous live stream. That's what lures these kids in. They love seeing all that stuff. They love having top of the line equipment and all the other stuff that comes with it. Like all the toys, if you will. The stereos and food and all the bells and whistles. Well, give them a chance. Listen, as a Chicago Bears fan, I wasn't exactly sold on Caleb Williams, but of course I knew the Bears were going to take him number 1 overall. I'm willing to give him a chance. And just because I don't like him personally, not just because he played at USC, but because of his behaviors and his diva-like ways and painting his nails and stuff, I'm still going to give him a chance. I mean, what am I going to do? Say that, hey, screw him, I'm not going to cheer for this team? No. It's the same thing here with Riley Leonard. You give the kid a chance. And if he comes here and, starts shitting the bed, then okay, yeah, turn on him. Because you'd be telling the truth then. He was the shits. Of course, I hope he's not the shits. I don't think he will be the shits, but all I'm saying is you got to give the kid a chance. All right, see you later, Jarzy. Look at the Heisman winners in recent memory. One guy in the right situation can make all the difference. It is the nature of the beast now. Might as well use it to our advantage, hype or not. Exactly. They're there. Why not take advantage of something that's been put in place? It's legal. It's something that can help your team. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that don't like the portal. They don't like NIL. And listen, as I've said already, I have my issues with that stuff too. But let's just face it, the system's never going to be perfect. But at the end of the day, I mean, yes, especially at Notre Dame, we always say it's a 40-year plan, not a 4-year plan. And some places don't exactly see it that way. It's just a fact. Some don't. I'm not trying to smear anybody, but that's not always the case. But in particular for the football aspect of things, like, not saying you shouldn't give a crap about these kids when they come here to get an education. That should be just as important. But at the end of the day, for the football aspect, it's about winning games. And you do whatever you can to win those games. And I don't mean, when I say that, I don't mean like playing dirty and going and taking guys on the other team out. I mean, like, through the portal and, stuff that you probably don't like. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like it, but if you see a guy in the portal that can help you, take him. He wants to come play for you, take it. I think we could make the playoffs this year. I do too. Got a lot of weapons on that offense. Got a lot of guys that came in from the transfer portal, like Mitchell and Bo Collins and guys that can really help us. Riley Leonard, I think, could be a great asset to us. I mean, he's had his issues. I don't deny what Jarzy Bear said. He has had the injuries. He hasn't exactly passed for 3,000 or 4,000 yards a season, but he's not a bad quarterback. One thing that sucked losing was recently Micah Bell. He left, but I think I hated seeing that. But I guess when you look at the depth chart, it makes sense because he was probably not going to get as many reps as he was used to. You would think people would be sick of ND being out-athleted. Yeah. Is that what you're saying? Athleted in big games over the last decade plus. Yeah, you would too. You would think that as well. But again, it's a new era of college football. If you see guys in the portal that can help you remedy that problem, you do it. And we're not wrong for doing it. I mean, hey, listen, we all knew that it wasn't going to stay the way forever, that way up forever of, recruiting and, growing your crops for 4 years and then hitting pay dirt at the end. That's another thing too, is that I didn't think of right away is guys aren't really staying in school for 4 years anymore. At least not the top ones. So this is another thing where the portal helps big time, where maybe you don't necessarily replace them, but you have that potential to, or at least you can fill a void. Now, maybe that guy that you get in the portal isn't exactly on the same level as that guy you previously had that left, but you don't have to worry about a guy sitting out for a year. Sorry, that wasn't towards you guys. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be calling this pretty quick for tonight. Maybe another 10 minutes. A lot of other Notre Dame fans are saying they want Freeman to be fired if he can't make a 12-team playoff. I don't agree with that because you got to wait till his players get to start. Yeah, I mean, yes, we are in year 3. And this is year 3 for any coach at any program. This is where you you really got to start making progress, or then you will end up on the hot seat. I've said it many times. You give a coach 3 years. 3 years guaranteed. But that's exactly it, though. I mean, I hate this because Brian, and he's not the only one. Brian Kelly did this, and I hated it. But when you cause divide between the guys that were already there when you took over and the guys you brought in, you can't do that. But to a degree, it's true. There's a particular player that you're looking for that the previous coach had that you might not have liked. All right, hang on one sec, guys. Hey, give me 1 sec, guys. Give me 1 second. Something important that I have to respond to. Sorry about that, guys. Important message that I had to take there. Important text. Thoughts on the shirt this year? Ordered a couple for my wife and myself. I actually haven't gotten the shirt for a number of years right now. They just they haven't sucked. It's just some of them haven't exactly been appealing to me. I mean, this one, it was I saw it was gold. And also another thing too is the material's kind of hit and miss for me sometimes. Let's see, I forget what it said though. The tradition continues. Hey, I like that. Notre Dame football Irish 2024 with the Four Horsemen. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll get one. I don't know. But like I was saying, it's just sometimes the material has been a little thick, if you will. I think it was like one that I really liked as far as the material goes. I think it was 2014 when they had the blue one. I don't know what that material was. I think it was like more polyester, I think. But it was like really loose. And I like the shirt that I'm wearing now, it's a soccer jersey, and I like it because it's a very loose fitting. And that's kind of what my preference is when it comes to that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2014 when it was blue. But yeah, if it's like a really heavy, tight material, that's no. My body has to be able to breathe. I don't know if you've heard, but there was talk that Pat Cavanaugh was going to join the football team because he was getting interviewed about it, but didn't hear about it again. I never even knew about that. Pat Cavanaugh from the lacrosse team, didn't know that. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I honestly didn't know that. Sorry guys, just really important here. Anyway, he said he talked to Freeman about joining the football. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, obviously, I figured that out already. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that either of the Kavanaugh brothers had a football background. But I guess you could do both because lacrosse is the spring and then football in the fall. I mean, Jordan Faison's on the lacrosse team right now. But I'll tell you, both those Kavanaugh boys, they're beasts on that lacrosse turf or pitch, whatever they call it, whatever you want to call it, whatever the appropriate term would be. So, see, I never used to follow lacrosse like I did football. And lacrosse, I never really knew much about it. But our friend Ryan Fravel, who's a friend and colleague of ours on here, he played it, and he wasn't kidding when he said that it's a very physical game. Pat is 5'10", 175 pounds, an elite athlete, but not sure what he would do on the football team. Oh, 5'10", 175 pounds. Probably kind of small to play linebacker. Maybe defensive back. Oh yeah, Golden Playbook. Both lacrosse programs, they becoming one of the top lacrosse programs to come to. Sorry, guys. I know this isn't very professional, but this is important. He will go pro in the fall. The lacrosse league. He will go pro in the PLL, Professional Lacrosse League. Okay, this summer, I doubt he would risk an injury. Yeah, that's the thing. If you have a payday on the line in the very near future, then yeah, you're not going to risk injury to a different sport. I'm a fan of it now. I watch from time to time since they won a natty last year. Yeah, I'm guilty of this too, but yeah, it shouldn't take a team winning a national title to get you to watch them. That's not an insult. Like I said, I'm guilty of that too, but you're a team's that good and you never really watched them. I mean, that's guilty on me all the way. I mean, it's not that I don't care about the other programs there. It's just, football is my thing. I mean, I am a self-proclaimed football junkie. I love Notre Dame, love the Bears, now the Battlehawks in the United Football League. Um, I'm not saying it was a golden playbook. I'm not saying that. I've played and coached lacrosse over 20 years. The more ice of the game, the better. Hope the boys can repeat on Memorial Day weekend. Me too. I'll be tuning in. I've tuned in for a couple games this season. It's just the thing is now with with the United Football League being in full swing, and you guys know me and Ben, we love the Battlehawks, which that league's been fun to watch this year too. But a lot of their games are on Saturday and Sunday, and that's usually when the lacrosse team plays. So no disrespect to that lacrosse team, but I'm going to watch the Battlehawks first. But yeah, I'm more of a football guy, a football diehard. I think a big part of it too is where I grew up here in Illinois. To be honest with you, I obviously my high school didn't have lacrosse, and I'm trying to think of a place that might have had it. I think if there is lacrosse in Illinois, it's probably in Chicago or the Chicago suburbs. Maybe a couple of the other big cities here in the state. But I know that lacrosse is very, well, at least the hub of it is very northeast. Yeah, you beat me to the punch, New Jersey. Yeah, I just know the East Coast and the Northeast in particular. That is a huge hotbed for lacrosse. So I guess that's a big thing with me is no, we didn't have lacrosse here in the area that I'm from. I mean, I grew up in a town of about at the time it was like 6,000 people. It's gone up now, but we didn't have lacrosse. but we had football. So that's most of what everybody focused on. So, I mean, I don't mean this in any disrespect to the sport of lacrosse, but nobody was really thinking about it, you know? But no, after actually sitting down and watching it a few times, and I never disrespected the game, so don't anybody get that idea that I disrespected lacrosse, but that is definitely a very brutal game. And you got to be in shape to play that. Um, I'm new. I'm new to the channel. Can you fill me in on your Irish fandom, like how it started? All right. Well, I was pretty much born into a Notre Dame family. Um, so we've had, and this is all on my dad's side. My mom's side of the family, a lot of them couldn't give two shits about football or any of that stuff. Um, the Moriarty side of the family, we've had in total like 8 relatives go to school there. But a big part of it was we're an Irish Catholic family. So Notre Dame was just kind of a natural fit for us. My paternal grandparents, they like here in the Quad City area of Illinois, back in the 30s, they would give local priests a ride up to South Bend for to go to mass up there at the Basilica, and it just became a natural fit for us. But of course, and I don't think you'd mind me sharing this. It's public knowledge if you know where to look. But my uncle, from I want to say 86 or 87 through 2014, I believe, was the Notre Dame football team doctor. So I was always hesitant to talk about that, even going back to my individual channel when I was on my own before Ben and I teamed up on here. But it's just I'm very one who's very protective of his family with because of past crap that I've had happen on here. It's like I don't care if people dog me and say stuff to me, but it's like I've had people involve my family, like one person in particular, but I'll leave that out. I won't go there. But it's just like, the shenanigans that I've gotten myself into on here, I don't need my family having that. So I've always been private about it. But, I've decided, hey, why should I hide that? I'm proud of my family. Of course, I don't like everybody in my family, but I'm sure you can all relate to that in some way. But I'm proud of my family tradition of loving Notre Dame and the fact that we are an Irish family. And myself, I'm not Catholic. I'm actually a Lutheran, but still, all we really are is just renegade Catholics. But I get that from my mom's side of the family. But it's my dad's side that most of them are Catholic. But my Uncle Jim, he was the Notre Dame football team doctor for 20 some odd years. So he's worked with a lot of the big name players, and he has a national championship ring from '88. It was a hard fit, but I was able to try it on one time. And you can look him up, Dr. James Moriarty. So yeah, the Notre Dame is in my blood. Myself, I wasn't personally able to attend there, but you don't have to. This is where most of the people that would say this are the jerk offs, but you don't have to attend a place to fall in love with it and be a part of it. You know, a lot of us are called Subway alum for a reason. Very cool. Thanks. We are an Irish Catholic family. Was naturally drawn to Notre Dame through family. Also played against Quentin Nelson in high school, so it was cool to see where he has gone. Yeah, I'm sure. That's awesome, man. I mean, it's like when you have those family connections, that's really awesome. I mean, it's really awesome to just love the university and have, just love it for whatever reason. But it's just like when you have like family connection to it, it just makes it that much more special. Not above anybody else, but just like, in your heart and how you feel about it. Um, anyway, I grew up in Michigan and Notre Dame family. My mom's side Michigan fans, my dad's side Notre Dame fans. I picked Notre Dame because my dad and I are close. Nothing against my brothers. I gotcha. Always liked Notre Dame's tradition. Nelson is pound for pound the best high school football player I've ever seen. Well, there's a reason he went number 6 overall. I'm not Catholic either, but just love the team. First watched them when I was about 7, around when Charlie Weiss was head coach. I was born in 98, didn't get to see a national championship. I was about to turn 3 years old when we last won one in 88. Because they played, they played West Virginia in the 88 or the 89 Fiesta Bowl. My birthday is in January, so yeah, I was just about to turn 3 years old when we beat West Virginia and won the national championship. Because I was born in January of 86. Well, guys, I'm probably going to get off of here. You guys are probably sick of me taking a break to respond to messages on my phone. Like I said, I'm not going to go into detail on it because, well, no disrespect to anybody. It's nobody else's business. But it's kind of important. So let's say, how about another 5 minutes? Anybody have any questions? Something on their mind they'd like to ask? Normally we take calls, but it's getting kind of late for that. But yeah, with going back to answering the question, my uncle, let's just say he's told us some really interesting stories. And it's just really cool to that's part of that's part of our family. I mean, we are very proud of his accomplishments, but don't get the wrong idea. Yeah, I may ooh and ah over that, ooh ah, but no, my dad, I couldn't be any more proud of him. Because you don't have to do something flashy to be proud. So, my dad was an everyday working man, was a plumber. And I say was because I think he's officially retired now. But just, when you have someone in the family who's accomplished something like that, you can't help but, we're all proud of everybody's accomplishments. Just, some are going to stand out. Do I think we can win a national? Oh, I got to tell you this real quick. On the Facebook page that I help run, we've had people flip out because of using the term natty. Oh, what are you kids? What do you say natty for? Usually they're just a bunch of grumpy old bastards. But no, I think we can. I think we can win one in the next 4 years. I mean, the way that Coach Freeman is developing these guys that he brings in, it's unbelievable what I've seen so far. Also as well, I didn't know if I told you, but I'm Native American as well. Got Potawatomi, Ottawa, Little River, and the Potawatomis gave Notre Dame permission to put the university there. I do recall reading that. Oh, speaking of the Native American aspect of things, I got to play this real quick. All right, now obviously I'm not a Redskins fan, but and this is not a political channel. Ben and I try to avoid it, but the whole controversy, which isn't even a controversy with the name and all that, that was just so stupid. I mean, the Commanders is more offensive than Redskins are. Because the Commanders, that's just an insult. That's like bullshit generic team names on create a team mode in Madden. I'm not going to lie. Ohio State almost broke me. We've had so much heartache recently. We need a title so bad. I know. It's killing me too. I still think back to USC in 2005. You know, you have them beaten, then they pull it out. They make a play to keep the drive alive. And same with Ohio State. They make a nice play at the end, get them on the what was it, the yard and a half. And it sucked. And the thing is, I know this is probably a broken record. And I say broken record because we need to start winning these games. I want to see us win, not just compete. But what I like seeing out of it, even if it's a loss, is knowing the fact that we are very capable of beating these teams. Because normally it's at one point in history, we just get blown out. But now we can see that we're capable of beating these top teams, even if it ends up in a loss. We had the chance to beat them. So the bottom line is that talent gap has been very, how should I say, narrowed. So it's a matter of just finishing the game. And it sucked too, because watching that game, Xavier Watts was like mere inches from sealing the victory. That interception just right off his hands. And you can't really say, he should have had that. He should have had that. He had to jump pretty damn high for that. I mean, even top athletes have limitations. I'm basically a whipping boy among people around me that despise the Irish since I was in grade school. Yeah, people are just dickheads. In my experience, the biggest dickheads have been, you would probably expect me to say somebody else, but the biggest dickheads I've encountered have been Michigan State fans. I mean, a lot of them are so cocky and arrogant, and they have nothing to be cocky and arrogant about. I mean, yeah, they've done a little more than we have in recent history, but I mean, geez. Took them what? I think, 30 years before they finally won another Rose Bowl? Something like that, something close to it. Maybe I'm a little off, but it was a while. Oh, don't worry about it. We don't have virgin ears on here. I mean, yeah, we try to keep it clean, but it doesn't always work out that way. No, they are dickheads. They really are. I mean, with what we got, I could see that on the Facebook page. We had so many of them trying to sneak in and just shoot their mouths off, and who knows, this might get the video flagged, but of their fan base, just white trash galore. And I'm sorry if anybody's pissed off at that, but the night right after the loss on the Facebook group, and even for like a week following, all the people that were trying to get in and
because see, we have to approve comments and stuff. But just, yeah, that's what a lot of them were that were trying to get in, were these white trash hick types that look like they were on meth. And I try not to stereotype people, but when you see it, you see it. If there's a trend, there's a trend. I'm sorry. But to be fair, though, I have talked to some good people who are Ohio State fans. I'm just referring to the bad ones. Just a lot of them are just, I'm sorry, a lot of them are just trash. Well, Playbook, you won't have to worry about that. Like I said, we make sure to thoroughly screen them now. And what's just so funny about that is if they make it very obvious that they're a fan of a rival or whoever, they think we're actually going to approve them. And for the record, anybody who's wondering, this page that I help run, it's a private page. So. Well, all right, guys, I think this is where I'm going to call it quits for the night. I honestly wasn't expecting to go this long on here. I thought it'd only be like 45 minutes tops. Oh, okay. What's it called? It is on Facebook, and it's called Notre Dame Nation Fight of the Irish. And we've actually grown quite a bit from a year ago. Because let me tell you the trends. All right, I'll go for a couple minutes just to explain this. Let me explain to you guys some of the trends that I've noticed with these. And I'm sure it's probably the same place on other. Well, actually, maybe other places will be different, but I can only attest to Facebook for this example. But it seems like all the Notre Dame groups on Facebook, they have the same unfortunate trend. All negativity. All these people who call themselves realists, like, if we have, like, for example, the last time we made the playoff and we had to play Alabama, everyone said, oh, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. We have no chance to win this game. And I'm like, why are you saying that? Because I'm a realist. I'm a realist. Well, when you say you're a realist, all you're saying is that you are a shit fan who has no confidence in your team. So why even bother watching them? Why bother following them in that case? But Golden Playbook can back me up on this. All of this negativity on these Facebook groups, it comes from the group. The negative group are all these people are one of three things: old people, ugly people, and fat people. Which when it's older folks, that always surprises the hell out of me when it's them speaking all the negative stuff. Because you think the older folks would be the ones that are the most positive and generate positive energy, but they don't. And I'm not saying this about all folks who are older. I'm talking about when it's the group of the negativity group. A lot of people in the negative group, they're older people. But I remember we had this one dude on there who just, I swear to God, was like 450 pounds, and he had like a pig or a hog face, buck teeth, crew cut. I've actually seen his fat ass here on YouTube before. I'm not going to give his name because I don't want to give him attention. But he would constantly badmouth the team all the time. And he was a part of our page, and I said, screw it. I'm getting rid of these people. Our page creator, his name's William. I would report a lot of this stuff to him, and he said, I just don't have the resources to handle all these people. I said, if you need some help, I'll step in. and he made me an admin on there, and I've gotten rid of a lot of people. I've helped. I'm not patting myself on the back or anything, but I've helped clean that page up. Because I think a year ago at this time, and this could be an exaggeration, but I'm not trying to exaggerate. We were at like 6,000 or 7,000 members, and now we're at like over 22,000. Okay, stupid people could be the fourth category. Yeah, fat people, ugly people, old people, and stupid people. That's the group that makes up the realist negative crowd. No, it's like you see these people, like you look on their profile and see what they're about, which usually gives you an idea. You just want to punch them in the face, like that 400-pound obese fat ass. Oh, I wanted to just take his ass out, take him down. But it's like you can't. You get angry, but you think, when the cooler heads prevail, it's like, are these people really worth it? Just ban them and don't worry about them. Thanks a lot. Great chatting with you. I will head over to the Facebook page, God Country. Hey, Major Problems. Nice meeting you. Nice talking with you. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. We usually do it every Thursday, 7:00 p.m. Central Time. Yes. Yeah, that guy, I forgot what his name was. It was like, I'm not going to give out his full name, but it was like Dwicky something. Just this bit. He's at least 400 pounds. And yeah, you look on his Facebook page, he has numerous posts like, why can't I be the fat guy that gets the girl? Probably because most women don't like dating 400-pound obese guys. Exactly, Golden Playbook. His page was full of that stuff. And, he claims to like Notre Dame so much. He had, pictures of him going to games on there on his page. And yet he's always so negative. Everything out of his mouth about the team was negative. Nothing positive whatsoever. I hate people like that. I mean, it's like if you watch Major League 2, Randy Quaid's character, anybody who's seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. But I guarantee you, once the team starts winning, he'll shut his mouth. Because that's the thing. That's what it takes to be a real fan, to stick with the team when times are bad. I mean, hey, in 2007 we went 3-9. 2016 we went 4-8. I went to games in both of those seasons. Those seasons sucked. It was rough. But I didn't come out saying, fuck this team. I'm giving up. I'm just a realist. I'm quitting on them. Blah, 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 blah. True fan. The true fan, of course, tells the truth, acknowledges the truth, but doesn't shit on the team. He keeps supporting the team. But it's like when all these quote unquote realists showed up in 2020 when we made the playoffs and had played Alabama, I swear to God, we are the only fan base I've ever seen. And not everybody. It's just the negative ones just got most of the attention. But it's like we are the only ones where I've seen it, where our fans, a lot of them anyway, were disappointed to make the playoffs. I mean, think about that. You are actually disappointed and upset that we made the playoffs. All because we had to play a really good team. Well, what I tell these people is, did you really think it was going to be easy? No. I mean, yes, it's going to 12 this season, but At that time, 4 teams. You really think the other 3 were just going to be slouches? Come on. Doesn't matter who. I mean, it doesn't matter who you play. When your team makes the playoffs, it doesn't matter who you play. You stand by your team all the way. And when the team is winning, you certainly don't sell your tickets to the opposing fans just because you want to make a quick buck. I mean, thankfully that trend changed when Ohio State came in last year because there was a hell of a lot more green than there was red. So I was happy to see that. So I will step back on that a little bit, but no, when you're selling your tickets to opposing fans just because you want to make a quick buck, I'm sorry, you can go fuck yourself. So you see, Golden Playbook, you're worried about language. I'm not. But the funny thing is, nowhere else of any other major college football program have I seen that happen. Your team is winning, but you only just care about money. Look at how the Michigan players reacted to playing Alabama in the playoffs this year, and they did it. Yeah, I saw that video too where it was like, oh. I don't know if that was really the players, though. Wasn't that like more the people around them? But you got a point, though. They did it. They did it. Oh, cat one's out. New person in here. I still wear my ND jersey here in Northwest Georgia, win or lose, and I'm surrounded by the SEC. I was down there for 2019, and I was surrounded by the atmosphere. And I got to say, most of the people were pretty cool down there. One of my good friends on here is from Georgia, and I was actually staying with him down there. Him and his family put me up for about 4 or 5 days. So no, I was treated very well down there, but I can only wonder what it gets like when it comes to the rivalry aspect. Yeah, going back, major problems to what you said here about the Michigan reacting to playing Alabama. See, you can't have that downer attitude because you never know. Just like the old saying goes, any given Sunday, or in this case Saturday, anything can happen. You execute, you play the game, you do what you have to do. There's nothing that says that you can't beat that team. And, was I surprised that we lost to Alabama? No. I mean, that's a really good freaking team. But it's like to just call the game over before it's even played, I mean, that's a freaking joke. Well, they're cool. We have good nature. That's good. That's awesome. We can all be in good fun. I mean, some people take it way too far. Well, anyway, before I get off of here, just letting you guys know, Ben and I will be having some cool stuff coming up here on the channel. To any of you new guys that have showed up, like Judy, I don't think I've seen you here before. Major problems. I know you said you were new here, but don't you cause any major problems. I couldn't resist. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We've been growing on here a little bit. We just hit the 1,000 subscriber mark last week, and so nowhere but up to go. So we're definitely going to have a lot of good things for you guys coming up here soon. If any of you guys watch the United Football League, as I mentioned earlier, Ben and I follow the St. Louis Battlehawks, so we have videos up for that. Notre Dame news. We're usually live every Thursday at 7:00 p.m. Central Time. So, yeah, if you guys like what you see on the channel and what we do, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe. We would appreciate it very much. We're not the biggest out there, but I'd like to think we'd put on a good show for you guys. There was a lot of Michigan fans that know we're being negative, didn't have faith in them because of the talent difference. Always have confidence. Yeah. Like, if you don't have confidence, then what are you doing playing the game? Because at the collegiate level, that's what the guys. If you dream of playing collegiate football, that's what you dream of, and that's what you shoot for, is to play on the big stage against the best teams. Oh, that's cool. I can't always hit your lives because of my work schedule, but really enjoy that. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. We're always here. It's at your convenience. It's at your convenience. It's like we have another friend of ours. He always feels bad when he can't make it to live streams, and we're like, dude, it's okay. Not a big deal. You are not required to watch us go live, do a live show. Just if you support us and you're able to catch our content, I mean, we couldn't be any more grateful, But yeah, I mean, we've been able to do a lot of cool stuff on here. We've interviewed some former players. We're looking to have another one here pretty soon, but I'm not going to go too much into detail on that because there's still a lot of stuff we have to work out with that. But we've had Irv Smith on the show. We've had Reggie Brooks. He wasn't the biggest name, but Clint Johnson. The most recent player we had on was Mike Goolsby a few months back. If you guys haven't seen that, make sure to go check that out. Talking to him was really awesome, and he had some very interesting things to say about Ty Willingham. But no, we're always going to be primarily Notre Dame football on this channel, but we're not opposed to talking about any kind of sport. I mean, it's football mostly, but we've talked NFL, we talk UFL, we've talked other Notre Dame sports, but primarily football. But we're open to talking about sports in general. Now, of course, we avoid the politics because we like to think our channel is an escape from all that stuff. But that's the basic idea of what we do on here. We're just Ben and I, and of course Ryan Fravel. He's a colleague of ours, but that's just what we do on here. Is we have fun. We're three Notre Dame fans. We're three Notre Dame fans who just like to have fun, talk some Fighting Irish, and interact with other fans, Notre Dame or other. It's hard to imagine myself personally. Like, I've been on this channel with Ben for 4 years. We started in January of 2020, but I've actually been on YouTube. I think my early stuff was 2008. So I've been myself personally, I've been at this a while. So, all right, guys. Well, look, I'm going to hop off here. It's getting late, and I got to get some dinner in me. So you guys take it easy. It was a great live chat or live show and chatting with you guys. And I got to work on my speaking. I know. None of us are perfect, though. So you guys all have a wonderful night. God bless, and go Irish.